You know, drifting is a little unique. It is the only subjective motorsport in the world. There is a start line and a finish line, but it's not for time. You're expected to run the course as fast as you can, but you're essentially battling your partner in a match made up of 2 rounds. One driver leads through the course, re-establish your position, and now that driver who led first will now follow. You're judged against each other on, again, how fast you can go through the course. It's the only objective element used in judging is a speed gun. And then through that point in time, it's up to the judges to establish how close to the walls you were, how close you were to the proximity of your clipping points. That will give you the perfect score, enable you to lead on into the rounds, stand on the podium at the end. You know, what we have here is actually our show car. That's why we have the tinted windows. The real race car is getting built back at the shop, but this is a perfect representation exterior-wise to what our race car will be. Starting with the stock platform, you have a limited slip rear end. You have a 3.8 litre V6 engine, and you have a car that weighs about 3,400 pounds. Building that into our race car, we actually run sometimes a limited slip, sometimes a spooled rear end, meaning a locked rear end. That's all based on how fast the courses are. If they're very high speed or low speed technical, what we need to do to transition the car. Going into the other 2 key factors I mentioned, power goes from 310 horsepower to probably around 650. And then weight reduction, that 3,400 pounds is shaved 1,000 pounds to a 2,400 pound car. You know, as you look into this car, as I mentioned, this does have some of the key factors exterior-wise that we will run on the race car. Starting here, carbon fiber hood. The race car also has carbon fiber trunk, carbon fiber roof, doors, front bumper, rear bumper, and rear quarters. Effectively, the whole body is splashed as a factory mold, altered for the aerodynamic aids that we need, and then replaced with carbon parts. You know, building off the key platform that you have here with a rear-wheel drive car is weight distribution and weight balance. Obviously, this transmission that comes in the car production is a 6-speed. We're now upping the horsepower to twice what that transmission is supposed to see. That is one of the elements that through our sponsorship programs with HKS, we actually have changed out to a transmission that is strong enough to take the abusive nature of the sport of drifting and the extra power that we're going to have it. We also go away from a manually shifted H-pattern 6-speed to a sequential shifted 5-speed. You know, the exciting thing about the sport of drifting is there is a lot of freedom of expression, not only for the drivers and their way that they drive the cars, but for the people that build them. My company, Rhys Millen Racing, I have a great group of guys, probably why we were crowned world champions of drift last year. But these guys take pride in the work that they produce and the cars that they work on. We work really, really hard on the transmission, the engine locations to get the weight over the rear axle as far as we can per the rules, and then also placing all of the key elements. But for the engineers at Hyundai, this is a freedom to express themselves as well. The rules are very, very limited. Drivetrain and engine is free, suspension is free, brakes are free, body and chassis are free. The only key factor that requires stock location is the firewall. Manipulating your parts within those rule parameters, you can build a pretty amazing car. With a little bit more tuning and tweaking, this is going to be my weapon of choice for 2009.